The Goodyear blimp has been one of the most enduring icons on the American sports scene. This is its 71st year of operation, and we're glad to be along for the ride this afternoon. Both the Cowboys and the Steelers have had good years, but they arrive here at the Super Bowl as different as two franchises could possibly be. Much of that is a reflection of the owners. Jerry Jones of Dallas, Dan Rooney of Pittsburgh. Rooney is so humble, he's the only owner who will not allow his bio in the team media guide. Jones, on the other hand, is the only owner with a regularly scheduled weekly news conference. Jim Gray talked with both owners.
How would you describe the differences between you and Jerry Jones?
Substantial, vast. We do things differently.
How would you say you're philosophically different from Dan Rooney?
Well, to answer that, I'm going to tell you where I think we're alike. We're both very involved in the day-to-day operations of our clubs. I may be more so than Dan. Secondly, I basically bought the Dallas Cowboys, and so I've had the job of paying for it as well. And that makes me look at things in the NFL through a little different perspective than if I didn't have to pay for the Dallas Cowboys.
My father started this team. A lot of people talk for $2,500, but they never made one penny. They lost money every single year until 1946. This league had difficulties. I think that the majority of people do recognize what was done. I really do. I think that, hey, these teams like Jerry, but, you know, like the expansion teams, they paid an awful lot of money. You know, why did they pay the money? They paid the money because this league is what it is. And this league is what it is because of some of the things that took place in the past.
The deals I've signed, if other clubs would do it, would help build the NFL.
I don't have a dot in the world that is totally against the best interest in the National Football League.
I disagree. The deals are right within the rules.
He gets carried away on some of this business about marketing and in some of this business about fighting the NFL. I think that, you know, really all we have is the NFL. Without the NFL, we don't have anything.
In many ways, the Super Bowl game represents the old guard with the Steelers, Art Rooney, and now Dan Rooney, against the new guard and the Cowboys, who've always been progressive, and Jerry Jones, who has antagonized a lot of people. Isn't that somewhat ironic?
Well, I think so, and that makes some of the aura of the ball game, if you will. The great tradition of the Steelers and the Cowboys, the fact that they've played in 2 Super Bowls, and then the fact that the Rooneys are the family, they're the people that probably gave me some of the incentive to want to be in the NFL.
It's been 16 years since the Steelers have been to a Super Bowl. Does it seem as long, or does it seem like yesterday that you were in there and with your father taking up that 4th championship trophy?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like 16 years. My father really set the stage for how this organization operates. And he may not be present, but there's no question that the word today is fingerprints are really all over this franchise, that people mean so much, that, you know, that you treat people right. I think that's what differentiates us from the majority of teams in the NFL.
Hopefully, at some point, 20, 30 years from now, maybe some of the things that I've done in the NFL and some of the things I've helped push forward in the NFL will be recognized as some of the things the old guard did, and we'll be lining up against someone that's coming to the NFL, and I'm going to shake their hands because I'm going to say, bring us some new ideas. That's how we've moved as far as we have.
You have been sued by the league. You are now suing the league. Does it bother you that you're not very popular amongst the other owners?
Well, of course it does, from a personal basis. And I hope that those are the issues and not personal, but I don't know in terms of activity and when you're very emotional, when you're very involved, how to separate those things.
I, you know, do not dislike Jerry at all. I think that, you know, his family, Steve, and people like, you know, that he has in his organization are good people. But I sometimes think that he has to stop and think about what some of the things he does is going to do to the NFL.
When you won the NFC Championship, you were handed the trophy by Terry Bradshaw. When Dan Rooney won the AFC Championship, he was handed the trophy by Ralph Wilson. Were you surprised, and did it bother you that there was no other owner to present you with the trophy, or no one from the league office?
No, not at the time. Actually, Neil Ostrom, the president of the league, was supposed to have done it, and I think he got the bug. And I don't think it was the Jones bug or the Dallas Cowboy bug. I think he was legitimately sick. But we had some fun with that at the owners' meeting the next week. Al Davis said, had I known no one was going to be there, Jerry, I would have shown up and handed you the trophy. But I'm in the AFC.
There's the potential today, Jerry, that should the Cowboys win, you'll be presented the Lombardi Trophy by Commissioner Tagliabue. Will that be an awkward moment?
Well, should I be lucky enough to stand there and accept that trophy from Paul Tagliabue, I will make sure it's not an awkward moment for any of us.
You know, when it's all over, you know, I can shake Jerry Jones' hand and say, you know, hey, it was a great game and the best team won.
Well, clearly, Dan Rooney represents the National Football League and its interests and is the old guard compared with Jerry Jones, who is the maverick, if you will, around the league. And whether that's an awkward moment or not later on, should it take place, Mike, it may be fueled by something that happened a little bit earlier today on network television with David Brinkley. Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner of the NFL, said that Jerry Jones dishonors the agreement that he made when he came into the NFL partnership. He takes what does not belong to him. In fact, it does not belong to him, but it belongs to all 30 teams.
Well, that's the way they made it in this league. I mean, it's one for all and all for one, and that's the only way the National Football League can survive. Listen, players, coaches, and owners are going to come and go. The game is going to stay here. The game must persevere. You must do everything you can to make the game right. But let's one other thing. The Steelers are blue-collar, lunch bucket. These guys are limos, tuxedos, two diverse styles. Doesn't make either of them wrong, because both of these teams have a lot of character to get where they got this time.
All right, Mike. When we come back, we will hear from the two quarterbacks taking part in today's game. Here's Neil O'Donnell warming up. The NFL on NBC continues from Super Bowl 30.